We're here at Northside Marine checking out the new 895 Merry Fisher Series 2.
Super excited. This is one of the first Series 2s in Australia.
Now, if you want to know the difference between the Series 1 and the Series 2, check out our video here. Today, we're going to take you on a detailed walkthrough. Welcome back to the Rudder. My name's Brooke and this is Damian, and as I said, we're here checking out the Merry Fisher 895 Series 2. Now, if you follow our channel, you'll know that we are proud owners of an 895 Series 1. So we are really keen to see the differences that they've got in the 895 Series 2.
Yeah, so Antoinette, that's the name of our 895, is at home. We're so excited to get on this and just see what the differences are and what that would mean for living with this boat at anchor, or if you want to go out fishing. One of the big changes is this is a brand new hull. They haven't just done some stuff on top. It is a whole new mold, a whole new hull. Let's go check that out first. One of the first things you'll notice is this is a super sleek looking vessel. It's really taken its cues from some of the larger yachts around. There's new glass down the sides. I think the nose is a bit more bulbous. It seems to have got a lot of volume through here. This is a brand new hull and it is supposed to be more efficient to plane at around that 20 knot speed. Looking underneath, it keeps the bow thruster. Of course it does. All the Merry Fisher range has that. Still steep climbs, sharp climbs to get that spray out of the way. The 895 isn't a real true offshore go bashing for marlin kind of boat. It is a cruiser. It's a family cruiser. It's got a lot of volume. It can handle the rough stuff. These are made in Europe. There's a lot of people that own them in the UK and up in far northern Europe who get a lot worse weather than we do here at the Gold Coast. It can handle the rough stuff, but it really is made for cruising on sort of light open seas, partially smooth waters is where you're really going to find a lovely time on this boat. It keeps the same length. It is still 8.94 meters long. Doesn't sound as cool as 895. Still has a beam of 3 meters, and if you live like where we do, we're very worried about air draft, getting under bridges. 2.8 meters, same air draft as the original version. This is on a trailer. In Australia, pretty much trailering this boat is, I wouldn't keep it on a trailer. You're probably going to keep this on the water or in a boat storage or something like that. In the States, our friends, this boat would be called the NC 895. There are a lot of people that trailer them. Do need 3 axles, and you will need a dedicated Dodge Ram or Silverado, one of those big trucks. All right, moving through. I said we have got new glass. It's got a new look all the way through here. And one of the things, we'll look at this later on, the tuna door has been changed. It's deeper, so it's a full step through. Let's go around and take a look at the powerhouses. There is a lot to see back here. I'm already starting to see a couple of the changes. The first one is, my goodness, how good looking are these engines. It is a 250 horsepower. So twin 250s is the max horsepower available on the boat. The petrol is now on the back, which is a great place for filling up. You don't have to wrangle the pipes everywhere. It's on the back where you want it. This vessel is getting fixed up with all the bells and whistles. This is going to get Helmmaster control for those engines. Zip wake, so they're the auto trim tabs. So it's going to have auto trim tab. Over here, got our bow ladder, stern ladder, drops into the ocean. It is nice and deep, so you're not going to be flailing around, and a grab rail to jump out. All in all, very good looking down here. I love the white cowls. I know Brooke really wants those on Antoinette as well. It's looking fantastic. Let's jump up on board and see what we've got in the cockpit.
Heading inside to the cockpit, you've got this safety gate, which is fantastic for children or for puppies. And you've got your cleats in the original position. We've got our shower here. Ooh, fancy one. If you're familiar with the Series 1, you'll know that the tuna door was about this high and further down towards the bow. In this model, the tuna door is full length, which enables your passengers to transit onto the vessel with ease. I guess the only problem with this is if you've got equipment or anything down below here, you might need to move it out of the way. Otherwise, what a great addition. Stepping into the cockpit of the Merry Fisher 895 Series 2, you see the versatility on this boat. You can use it as a fishing boat, you can use it as a day boat, and you can have plenty of friends and family. This cockpit is really versatile. The first thing I want to show you is that the aft bench slides forward so that when in storage, your engines can be tilted out of the water. This is quite easy and maneuverable, lifting the clinches here and sliding it forward. Interesting to note that when the aft bench is slid forward, that seat stays in place, unlike with the previous series. Sliding back, you see that there's plenty of space for at least 7 individuals. The table has great cup holders, and in fact, there's cup holders the whole way around. Really comfortable armrest with 2 cup holders here. You've also got cup holder and cleats and also fishing rod holders. One thing that is new in the Series 2 is this chair here is modular so that you can pop it out of the way, and this is where this vessel becomes a fantastic fishing boat because you can hang off the side here. The other thing that you do lose, however, is that storage. Talking about storage, you don't get it under here, but there is storage under this seat here. Under here, one last thing to mention before we jump down into the lazarette is this section here. The other functionality is this drops down to be a day bed, so it's really great to enjoy lounging and sipping a glass of wine in this spot.
To get down the lazarette, we have to remove this table, so off it pops. It's quite light. We'll just put it up there for the minute, and easily opens up. We're down here in the lazarette. This is one of the major benefits of the Merry Fisher, and in fact a lot of the vessels that are coming out with outboards. Previously you'd have a stonking great big engine down here, and this would be your work area. It is still a work area, but you can see there is lots of storage. It's about waist high. You've got some storage going forward. You pull these out and we get to our batteries. So there's a little bit of storage in here, but I probably wouldn't use too much of it with your batteries. You've also got a bilge pump back there, and on the other side, starter batteries and even more space moving to the back. Also, we've got access to the fuel tanks, 600 litres, twin 300 litre tanks on this vessel. So you can get in to check the fuel bulbs under here. There isn't an offshore version anymore. All the 895s now come with the bigger 600 litre tanks.
Stepping inside to the cabin, let's take a look immediately inside the door. You've got your battery isolators and this fantastic addition to extend the bench of your galley. I guess you need to make sure that the door is locked in place so that it doesn't slide forward, but a fantastic addition. Starting on the starboard side, fairly different transformation in the galley. I'll just move the staging out of the way to start with, and you've got your cookers, but you can have just one cooker exposed, so there's enough room for prep on the bench. Or if you're cooking up a storm, you can remove both of the benches. Moving across now, you've got your sink with, again, the ability to leave the prep area on top, 2 cup holders. Now underneath, a little bit of a change with the configuration. Really fantastic large drawer, which is handy for cutlery or sun creams and those sorts of things. As with all boats, you've got your click out buttons. This cupboard here, you've got your bin receptacles, which is really great because it's nice and hidden away. Moving towards the bow, This vessel is fitted out with a microwave, with additional storage underneath, and then you've got your fridge, as always, under the captain's helm. One last thing to show in the galley is a little extra overhead storage for your dry goods. Moving across now to the port side. This space has 3 different functions. So you can see it's currently set up as a dinette. This table then flips across so that while you are underway, your passengers can face forward. A great addition to every Merry Fisher, so moving like that. And then the last functionality is this whole entire section drops down to be a day bed or an additional berth for maybe 2 children or definitely 1 adult. As with all of the Merry Fisher range, the windows are so deep, which is fantastic when you are on the water because it gives you lots of vision all the way around and makes your day on the water even safer. It also brings in lots of natural airflow and light. You've got the 2 overhead sunroofs, and a great addition to this one is that when underway, you can turn this vent so it brings in some nice airflow. We find with the Series 1, you don't quite get as much airflow, so well done Jeanneau for adding this additional airflow pocket. We've got a really light color scheme which makes the cabin feel even larger. Nice, light and airy. You've got the white galley benches and the white upholstery and curtains all the way around. Once again, a big A+ to Jeanneau for utilizing the galley and the dining area to perfection. One more thing before I hand over to Damian, I want to note this beautiful captain's chair, and it's a great upgrade to the Series 2. I'm going to hand over to Damian, and I'm sure he's going to rave about it too. Let's have a look at the helm.
Yeah, I do like this captain's chair. I think maybe need an upgrade to mine, but they have taken the swivel idea directly from me. I'm going to take all the credit for that. If you want to check my captain's chair swivel video, check it out here. It does swivel. All right, the helm position. As with all Merry Fishers, and Brooks mentioned it, there is visibility everywhere. You can, see everything that's happening. It's kept this door, which is probably one of the best things about the Merry Fisher. If you're driving here, you need to get some ropes. The cleat's just there. You can yell out. You can also get some air in through here. I do like these vents. It does get a bit warm sometimes on a summer day. The rest of the helm position is fairly much like we had it before. They've got a fantastic 12-inch Garmin touchscreen, our Yamaha controllers. I told you this boat's getting all the bells and whistles. Helmmaster joystick control, the new Yamaha electronic controls, steering wheel, zip wake, automatic trim tabs, all our rocker switches, and of course the bow thruster, which really feels like the last thing you'd mention now with all these other toys. You've got so much control moving this vessel around in a marina or a tight spot. Even though you've got 9 meters of vessel, I think would be very easy to manage. The position with this lovely chair is very comfortable. You can move this chair backwards and forwards, and if you want to get really involved, stand up, even more visibility, and you've got a bolster there to put your bum against while you're driving. We can also see out to the bow area, which has been dramatically upgraded, but if someone was out there, I can see over the top of them. Looking behind me, a few changes. The Fusion stereos moved up here, and the VHF. Also, the speakers are in a little bit of a different position, probably just centralizing that sound. There are speakers outside. It's a 2-zone stereo system, so if it's a bit rainy like it is today, you want to lock everything up, you can just put the stereo on in the saloon, or if you want to pump the beats out the back, you can set it up out there. All right, very comfortable. We're hoping to get a chance to get this boat on the water in a few weeks so we can test out the new efficiencies and just how this new hull will handle. But before we do that, let's finish off this video. We're going to go downstairs and check out the sleeping arrangements.
Stepping down towards the bow of the boat, you've got 3 separate compartments. You've got your head on the starboard side, the stateroom or the main cabin towards the bow, and on our port side, you've got the mid cab. Let's start with the head. So starting in the head, you've got your basin, shower, and toilet facilities in a little bit of a different configuration. The shower head pulls out and can just attach up here for the purposes of having a shower. Beautiful marble sink and an extensive bench top. Storage underneath, plenty of space for all of your belongings. And in fact, there's a third cupboard here, which is pretty handy. You've also got a little storage space along the side and a porthole, and then moving around to your electric toilet. One point to note is that you don't have to shut the door to open the cupboard. So the door stays ajar and you can have plenty of access into the cupboards. Let's move across to the mid cabin now. There's a little bit of storage in here, but you'll be able to get the general gist. Nice little seat as you enter, so you can do your shoes up. A little bit of storage space in here, which in our vessel, we've actually put a shelf there for extra functionality, and a little bit of a storage spot here. Great functionality for bringing in natural light, and in the mid cab, there's it's actually the size of a double bed. Lots of storage in here at the moment, but you've got your porthole and then an extensive large window to also bring in the natural light. Let's jump forward into the main cabin now and have a look at the layout. With the beautifully large windows on the exterior, it brings in way more extra light. You've also got 2 portholes for natural airflow, which is wonderful on a summer's night. But you've also got the blinds to block out the lighting, as of course the curtains do as well. This bed is a queen size, and the first thing I was really interested to note is, were they going to cut into the headspace in the bow cabin because of the new configuration that we're going to take a look at in a minute? But I don't believe they have. In fact, they've added additional light that comes across through into this space. Storage options in the bow cabin, you've got your overhead cupboards, and a bit of a secret is that, ladies, make sure you have this side of the bed because the storage is way deeper than it is on this side due to the walkway on the starboard side, which I'll show you shortly. All in all, this is a fantastic space. Definitely doesn't feel claustrophobic with your 2 portholes for that natural airflow. And then the last thing to note, or 2 more things around storage, you've got your full length hanging cupboard here. And then last but not least, underbed storage, which is a great spot for cushions or blankets when you're not using them. As with all Merry Fishers, you can walk up both the port side and the starboard side of the vessel, but the starboard side is a little wider, and that's what I was referring to down in the bow cabin with that additional storage space with the overhead cupboard. Let's head down. This vessel has a bit of an awning up, so I'll have to duck under, but let's see the configuration. The first thing you notice when you do step up as you journey towards the bow is the safety rails. They're nice and high and you don't feel like you're going to fall overboard. You've got safety the whole way along. Just an easy 2-step up and then you are at the bow. Now on the Series 2, there's an extra option to have this shade cloth which you can attach once you are at anchor, which is really fantastic and means that the bow space is a lot more usable in the middle of the day because you're not in that full sun. So we're on the bow and this is really spacious, and yeah, I can see myself relaxing here. Now let's have a look at some cushions. These cushions are really well designed. They split. This one, you can flip it up and it stays there so that you don't have to actually remove your cushions overnight. This is the porthole that I showed you down below. And check this out as well. Same thing here. So there's 2 portholes. You can flick it up, the airflow goes in, and you don't need to remove your cushions. This can also act as a little table for your glass of wine and your cheese. There's a drop down section for your feet, which makes it really comfortable positioning. You've got cup holders all the way around. Talking of comfort, you can add an additional cushion to make this whole bow into a day bed, an added design feature in the Series 2. A couple more things to look at. You've got the poles for your overhead awning, and they are removable. And the anchor, you don't have to lift the hatch as per the Series 1 to drop the anchor. You can do it straight away as is. You've got your anchor well down below, which is nice and deep, and then of course you've got your remote functionality for dropping the anchor as well. You've got your 2 cleats at the front for tying off, and an additional option is the bow ladder for pulling up to the beach and stepping forward for your passengers. So there we have it, a detailed walkthrough of the Merry Fisher 895 Series 2. Thanks so much to Northside Marine for allowing us on board this beautiful vessel. Keep an eye out on our channel for some more videos about this 895 Series 2 on water and some differences between the 895 Series 1.
Yeah, if you've got the Series 1 and you want to see if, should you be upgrading, or perhaps you're looking between a Series 1 and a Series 2, maybe there's a second-hand Series 1, we're going to run through quickly all the changes so you can tick them off one by one.
Happy boating, and we'll see you next time on the Rudder.